The challenges I've seen in terms of exposing folks to UDL, honestly, it hasn't been any different from any other exposing a new thing to any other audience. The way that I was learned about UDL, it wasn't necessarily about something you have to buy or all these things. It was really, to me, it was a framework, a way of thinking. So I think a barrier for folks is if they're unwilling to learn. And there are a lot of educators like that, because you could be doing what you do and have done it very well for years. I've had teachers that worked with me at alternative spaces that their biggest barriers, they're unwilling to shift the way that they teach if they had a new young person, when they had a new young person come into their classroom. So, if they're a math teacher or social studies and they were used to kind of traditional notes on the board, skill and drill, and which I don't think is inherently a problem. You use whatever's helpful in your class at that time. But if you have a young person coming in, I had that experience with a teacher where it ended up that I had to let them go and they were a great teacher for the young people they had until we had a new crop of students who learned differently. And it was exposed that this teacher wasn't willing to bend or shift, because I think it was an ego thing for them that, oh, they're not learning my system and the way that I do it, then that means they're the issue. And so I think the biggest barrier for particularly for UDL is around yourself. Are you willing to actually take this and practice it? Are you willing to, once you know now what you know about the brain science of learning and how even trauma or unhealthy environment, a toxic environment in the class, or even adultism is really not going to help you to open up the learning space, then you have a decision to make. And some people are more comfortable just sticking with what they know about themselves. So honestly, I don't see it any differently from other work that I've done historically when I'm training folks around racial justice or anti-oppression. It's when folks know they have to make a decision and they're the one that has to make the decision to get to theoretically the other side. That's a lot of pressure on folks, I think, because then you have to be accountable. You can't blame, oh, the training wasn't good enough, or it was a one-off training, we need more, or, I only had 20 minutes, or it was way too long, or it was too expensive. I'd say the biggest barrier has been, my experience to date, has been one's unwillingness to shift and evolve and look at teaching and learning as dynamic.